And what do you think attracted them to that, apart from the music? What was it about?
Well, there was a fashion. It was your parents. Most of their parents hated it, and you know it was a big thing that you could get your hair to dread without your parents giving you an iron or having it cut. Not my parents, but you know, other people. There was a message of going back to Africa. There was a big thing. Everyone seriously believed that there was going to be an exodus back to Africa in '83. So there was, you know, there was a music, an identity, and a goal. Yeah, I used to go to most gigs, punk gigs. So that was the thing I was into in the late 70s, 77 to 1980s. I think that's the music I was into.
What kind of bands were playing here at the time then that you...
Retrospects, Buzzcocks, Slits, Richard Hell, Clash, just I could keep going.
So those were your kind of cool influences?
During that time, yeah, the 70s. I just get a bit of stick from people around there because they didn't kind of understand it. They thought, you know, we strangled our girlfriends and spat on them.
When you were growing up, were you going to carnival at all?
Yeah. It was small. It was not like how it's become. It was really small, you know. At one time they had it in Minor Road Park. That's how small it was. But yeah, carnival was alright. It got better during the 80s. It started to really get good during the 80s. Our little crew of friends used to have a sound system. Yeah, it wasn't really the carnival wasn't the big thing. We used to do Glastonbury. We used to fill up a van, speakers, bum rush the gate and find a spot, set up, demand electricity, and then you'd be doing verbal battling, almost physical battle with security when most of the festival when they try to turn us off. But during the early 80s, if you heard reggae coming out after 12 o'clock at Glastonbury, it would have been us.
What was the name of your sound system?
Three Stripe sound system.
Oh, that was the Three Stripe sound system.
Yeah.
Okay,
so we did festivals more than the street thing. Well Madden's other things, Elephant Fair, all of those. We used to, Wild Bunch used to do they used to be the main thing in the 80s when the festival started getting good. The Wild Bunch was the main sound system to go and watch. And, you know, they were all from that most of them from that background, you know, Willie Wee, Miles, Grantley, all had that reggae background, even the Odds, you know.
You mentioned the Dugout. Did you ever go to the Bamboo Shop?
I did, yeah, a couple of times, just out to see punk bands there.
At the Bamboo Club?
Yeah. It burnt down the week Pistols were supposed to play. They sold everyone tickets, and then I think it was the deliberate fire set for the insurance. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that the story?
Yeah.
Why?
The week before, you had to go down to get your ticket the week before and watch. I can't even remember what band it was. Wow. And then the week later, before the next Tuesday showed up, the whole place burnt down. So we missed the Pistols.
Wow.
Yeah, got it. But that's what they were playing at the time. But hip hop was the latest thing, and you know that's kind of the beats. We enjoyed the beats, anything with the loud drums and stuff. That's the attraction to reggae. You know, in the 70s, reggae, you know, production of reggae beat anything on the planet. Everything else was all mid-range and light stuff. You know, you go to concerts, they'd be chucking out hard mid-range. You had no bottom. The only place you could hear was full-on bass was reggae, and the productions as well. You know, loads of effects, reverb, on drums and snares and stuff. And nobody else wasn't really doing that. They put a little kind of light. It was light. So if you want to hear hard music, it was reggae. So.
Do you think there's a punk influence in your music, in the ethos?
Well, there is an influence from the punk. That's the kind of attitude we dealt with when we came to signing deals and being told what to do. And you know, we were offered a deal with Virgin for twice as much, and we refused it on the grounds of we didn't like Richard Branson. At the time he was seen as a conservative to us. That's how we saw him. Margaret Thatcher was holding him up as this is the ideal businessman. We should all be like that. So when he came to asking us to sign, we said no.
Looking back on that, do you still stand by that decision?
I could have done with the money, but Other than that, yeah, it was the right decision because you know, I wouldn't have felt right. It's like as soon as money come around, you change your ideal on people and just go for the money. Then you know, I would have probably felt guilty about it later on. The fact that we said no and we stuck by it was good.
So you sang London Records. What was that like?
It wasn't very good. No, it was partly to do with us, partly to do with our manager. Yeah, you know, it's a major label straight away. It's all about, once they pay out money, it's all about money. They want money back, and sometimes they suggest how they, you know, start putting suggestions out on what you should do and what you shouldn't do. But we also fell out with the singer. They just we signed a deal with them for this guy called Carlton, and 2 weeks after just signing the thing, we couldn't talk to him. We fell out, but we hadn't recorded anything yet, so we had our album to work with him, and we weren't getting on at all. And Erskine wasn't, you know, he used to hustle us a bit. He put us in studios that he could get favours from for spending money. He used to do a lot of hustling. You know, he did a lot of that. You know, a little bit of mismanagement. And he had us, as soon as the money came into it, we had to go and live in London and do, you know, even writing tracks in a studio. And it cost grand a day, and you're just in there trying to write in a studio instead of doing it back home where we did it before. You know, his advice should have been, you know, buy a load of equipment, go back to Bristol, see what you come up with, then come to the studio. But yeah, that's living in London and all day in the studio. You go and come back next day, all day, and you see no daylight. Your lips, air conditioning, your lips are crap. It was
not really the most creative.
No, and then London heard that we weren't singing with the singer, working with the singer, and they go, oh, you know, we better start. We ain't gonna put anything out until we're happy. So they stopped putting stuff out, and then we were stuck there for 5 years with nothing coming out.
So, do you think now, the way young people are making music now, where there isn't kind of money on the table, almost is a blessing in disguise, because you don't have that pressure? You can do what you like, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, you're not under that kind of scrutiny so much. You're
not, but I imagine it's the same once you get signed again, and they start the same. They like something, you want to see you're earning a bit of money, offer you a big advance, you go for it, and then same thing again. We made a single for London and did a video, everything, and they took it. Pete told me we worked with Radio 1 at the time, so he went to Radio 1, tried to see where they could get it played. I think he could only get it C-listed, and we kind of didn't want to release it. C-listed, you can play it if you want, and then anything harder than that, you're going to think, because he couldn't get that, he just didn't even bother with it. It's like. And the guy he played it to, so I came back with a comment, could you start the bass line earlier? It's like, yeah, the guy's telling you what to do. Yeah.
What's your kind of view of dubstep?
Yeah, I thought it was wicked. I think it's gone a little, it's mainstream now, so you get it on little bits in between programs on TV, and it's like, you know, real bland programs, and they got it on there, but the fact that introduced a lot of other people to reggae now. So you go to something that's a reggae gig, and there's loads of young white people that didn't know this music, but they've gone to dubstep and researched the history of it, and they can, you know, they know the old stuff, the 70s and 80s stuff, and it's like, wow, look at this. It's good.
How important do you think that is to preserve that?
Well, it's good. It's good that the fact that they could, you know, they've taken the time because of the internet, and it makes it easier. They've taken the time to go, you know, this music, why do I like it? They've gone and actually gone back and checked out the stuff that kind of came before it.
Did you ever have any original dubplates from Jamaica? Any original?
I bought one once. Yeah, it was £25, 1980. So it was a lot of money. It was like, yeah.
What was it?
It was Kunta Kinte.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a track called Kunta Kinte.
Can you, one question we've asked everyone, just could you define a dubplate for us in your words?
Dubplate?
What it means to you?
Exclusive mix. yeah, it was the thing when you used to go listen to sound systems. That's what would get everyone going, is when you heard a dubplate mix, you know, the mix that nobody else had. You know, it was an exclusive mix. You know, some people get made just for themselves if they were, you know, connected enough. I like the smell of them as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the vinyl?
It smells like our records used to smell when I was
Yeah.
really young. Like when I used to buy kids' records, you know, she rhymes or Snow White or whatever is on the thing. And dubplates would smell, got that smell about them. Same smell. Yeah. Trip hop.
Is that a Bristol official sound, or is
I thought it was a good label. It kind of described what was going on. You know, it's trippy hip hop kind of. Yeah, I thought it kind of summed it up. Yeah.
Do you see yourselves as being the originators of that then?
No. We had some tracks on that in that vein, yeah, but no, we weren't going for that dark break with a break on that thing. It was just, you know, some went that way, but it wasn't the idea. No.
Yeah, can you define dubstep for us as well?
Dubstep is jungle half step.
Interesting.
That's why when jungle was out, I was also thinking, well, you just slow it. Because sometimes it'd be on 45, and towards the end of the set, Peter D would just kind of turn it down or put it down on the lower speed just to kind of slow it down and then fade out. And I was like, yeah, this is kind of, this has got a vibe about it.